So here we have another quadratic inequality, only this time they didn't factor it ahead for us. And also notice we want to get this equal to 0, and so it's up to you. You want to add 3 to the other side. You end up with negative x squared minus 2x plus 3 less than or equal to 0. Because our whole basis for saying when it works is we're going to say when is it positive, when is it negative. So this one they want to know when it's less than or equal to 0. All right, now you kind of have two choices, and I'll point out it doesn't matter which one of them you do. So notice if you want to factor, it might be bothering you that there's this negative out front. So you can factor out the -1. Be careful, that changes all the signs of everything inside. Now if you just want to get rid of the negative completely, you could divide both sides by -1, but you'd have to switch the inequality. So that's fine, you could choose that, or you could leave it on the outside, totally up to you. It will affect whether it opens up or down, but solving this one, which right now opens down because there's a negative out front, for when it's less than 0, or if it opens up, if we get rid of the negative, then we'd be asking when it's greater than 0, is the same thing. So it doesn't matter if you want to just factor this and leave it out front, or if you want to divide by -1. Maybe we'll go back in a second and we'll do both, just to show you why it doesn't matter. All right, so if I have this negative out front and then this factors to x plus 3, x minus 1 would add to +2 but multiply to -3. And I want to know when this is less than or equal to 0. So let's draw our axis. And we can tell that it equals 0 at 1 and at -3 now that it's factored. And it opens down because of this negative that's out front. So here's where it equals 0 and it opens down. All right, so just from this picture, we can answer their question up here and graph the solution. We want to know when is this less than or equal to 0? Well, it's equal to 0 at this point and it's less than, looks like here and here. So everywhere from -infinity up to -3, and then from 1 to infinity. Okay, so let's back up and say we would have divided by -1 there and see if it makes any difference in our answer. So after this step, if I divide both sides by -1, it would get rid of this, but then I'd have to switch the direction of the sign because I divided by a negative, right? We always have to do that for inequalities. And so now I'm asking when is this greater than or equal to 0? But now this is one that opens up. So notice it equals 0 at the same place, but now it opens up. And when is it greater than or equal to 0? Looks like here and here. So the same place from -infinity up to 3 and from 1 to infinity. So it doesn't matter if you want to divide the -1 out or if you want to treat it like a parabola that opens down. The fact that you have to switch this means that they're equivalent. Either of those work to get you this answer. So -infinity up to -3 and then from 1 above that is all the places where this original one works out.